Part 37. Flashback. Fagioli's room, late afternoon. The room is a temple of order. Every book aligned, every shirt folded with surgical precision. Fagioli is kneeling, polishing the edges of the mirror. He stands up, adjusts a vase with measured movements, but accidentally bumps the mirror with his elbow. Crash! The glass shatters into 1,000 pieces. For a moment, total silence. Fagioli freezes. His hands tremble. Father's voice in his head like thunder. Incompetent! You are a disgrace! Fagioli grits his teeth. Immediately kneels on the chickpeas, already ready on the floor nearby. Grabs the billiard cue. 2, 3 knocks on his knuckles. Harder than usual. But this time, something different happens. Fagioli's breathing grows more labored. His gaze drifts into emptiness. His pupils dilate. Father, enough whining. Get up. Dress like a man. Fagioli gets up. Heads to the wardrobe. Opens an old box at the back. Inside, his great-grandfather's clothes, the ones Fagioli had hidden years before. White shirt, rough wool trousers, dark vest. With mechanical gestures, he puts them on. Looks at himself in the broken mirror. Fixes his hair, as much as he has left. Straightens his back. Fagioli impersonating the father. Tonight, we play billiards. Igor. Tonight we play billiards? Before or after the chickpeas? Can Tony play too? How did the game work? Did they split into teams like Fagioli and Tony against the father and the psychologist? SavedBlog.com. Part 38. Flashback. Fagioli's room next morning. The alarm rings. Fagioli wakes up in his bed, dressed normally, as if nothing had happened. He runs a hand over his face. Notices some scratches on his knuckles. He looks at the floor. Still some pieces of broken mirror scattered here and there. Fagioli? Strange? My hands hurt. And why do I smell like smoke? He turns on the radio to the local station. Announcer. And the witnesses are still in disbelief after a mysterious man, dressed in period clothes, crushed everyone at table number 3 of the old bar Arsenic. Fagioli Palos. Igor. Who was the mysterious man? Actually, Fagioli didn't care about that at all. What scared him was the number 3. SavedBlog.com. Waiting room. Paco. The black swallowtail can detect the volatile compounds of its host plant as soon as it starts flying, and with experience it gets better at pinpointing where these signals come from. Banani. So it's kind of like it learns to smell better as it gets older. Paco. Exactly, Banani. Monarch butterflies do something similar too. They follow the volatiles of milkweed to find the best places to lay their eggs. Papaya. Is it like when a dog follows a scent trail? Paco. Yes, that's a good comparison. For example, female common buckeyes recognize a compound called iridoid glycoside in plants and choose to lay their eggs where there's more of it because it's better for the caterpillars. Banani. And what about cabbage whites? Can they do the same? Paco. Yes, cabbage whites use volatiles to find their preferred plants. Interestingly, they can even be attracted to less ideal plants if those plants are treated with volatiles from the ideal ones. Papaya. So these chemical signals are like a kind of language that butterflies understand to survive? Paco. Exactly, papaya. Without this language, butterflies risk choosing the wrong plants and jeopardizing their larvae's survival. SaveBlog.com. Part 39. Flashback. Fagioli's apartment. Evening. Fagioli is sitting at the table, studying an old psychology manual. He tries to concentrate, but an unbearable noise comes from the neighbor's TV on the adjacent wall. And neighbor's TV voice, loud and annoying. Welcome to Truth Lev. Today we talk about gender equality and the incredible story of a woman plumber. Fagioli closes his eyes. the veins in his neck tense. Fagioli whispering through clenched teeth. Breathe. Count to 10. None of your business. None of your business. The TV keeps going. TV guest. A woman who defies stereotypes. We'll see her in action with wrenches and clogged pipes. Silence. Then, father's voice, sharp inside Fagioli's head, like a billiard cue striking the table. A woman, plumber, shame. Women should knit socks, not fiddle with pipes. Fagioli springs up like a coil. He goes to the wardrobe, dresses like his father, grabs the hoe, knuckles clenched, eyes empty and icy. Fagioli, in a hard voice, impersonating his father. Now I'll teach her what a man's job is. Igor, women should knit socks and not mess with pipes? Wrong, Fagioli. Actually, crochet hooks are pipes with points. SaveSeedblog.com. Part 40, flashback interior neighbor's house. The neighbor's laughing alone on the couch, munching on chips. The TV is at full volume. TV voice. And today our plumber will show us how to replace a gasket. Boom! The door suddenly bursts open. Fagioli enters, panting, hoe in hand. Neighbor, startled, jumping up. Hey, what the heck is he doing? Fagioli, in his father's voice, pointing the hoe at the TV. Women should knit socks! Crash. With a sharp strike, he smashes the television. The neighbor recoils, shocked. Without saying another word, Fagioli picks up the pieces of the TV, puts them in an old plastic bag, leaves through the door. Igor, smiling. If he could choose the punishment, the neighbor would have preferred that, instead of smashing it, Fagioli put the device on the chickpeas. SaveBlog.com. Part 41, flashback condominium courtyard. Fagioli, dressed like his great-grandfather, is digging a hole like a prisoner in chains. He's sweating, breathing hard, but he doesn't stop. He throws the TV remains into the pit, covers everything with soil, levels the ground with obsessive precision. Fagioli, standing at attention. End of transmission. The neighbor, still holding his phone, watches the scene from the window. Neighbor, trembling. Yes, hello, police. Urgent. My neighbor. Yes, with a hoe. He destroyed the TV, and now he buried it. Igor, Fagioli broke the neighbor's TV, but at least he gave it a proper funeral. Fagioli made a mistake burying the TV. What if it rained and a tree grew? Fagioli and the TV love, hate, and educational nighttime hallucinations, broadcast in 4K, with special guests, the father, the great-grandfather, and Tony the Sock. SaveKablog.com. Waiting room. Ravioli. Wow, I'm amazed by the abilities of butterflies. Paco. Realize one thing, Ravioli. Only the almighty creator of the universe could make something so beautiful and so brilliantly functional. Papaya. I agree. Blind chance can't produce these results, not even in billions of years of attempts. Paco. As we can see, butterflies have some very unique traits that allow them to survive and even thrive in our fallen world. Their ability to regulate body temperature, mimic poisonous butterflies, modify colors and behaviors at will, identify host plants by smell, and migrate long distances relying completely on the position of the sun, shouts God's design. Papaya. How can a tiny insect with a brain the size of a pinhead know how to use the sun as a compass? Banani. Something like that is way beyond the ability of a human engineer, and even further from what natural processes could achieve. Paco. Only the almighty creator of the universe could make something so beautiful and so brilliantly functional. SavedBlog.com. Part 42, flashback. Psychiatric hospital corridor day. Fagioli is being dragged down the corridor by two nurses. He's wearing a straitjacket, his gaze fixed straight ahead, a disturbing smile on his lips. From the pocket of his jacket, which one of the nurses holds folded under his arm, Tony the Sock, all dirty with soil, sticks out. In a small room nearby, two psychiatrists watch him through the glass. They speak to each other in low, concerned tones. Psychiatrist 1, scanning the medical file. Destruction of private property, multiple verbal assaults, dissociative crises, ritual self-harm, extended conversation with a sock. Psychiatrist 2, nodding with a half-incredulous smile. Not to mention the compulsive obsession with discipline, punishments with chickpeas, hitting hands with a cue stick, and that mania for impersonating the dead father. Assistant. Actually, he's not impersonating the father, but the great-grandfather. Psychiatrist 1, interesting, a repression with substitution of the paternal figure. Igor, Fagioli ends up in the asylum. While they lock him up, he doesn't object. Alfonso instead complains to the nurses. A single cell? Hey, look, there are 4 of us in here. 3.5, with Tony the Sock. SavedBlog.com. Part 43, flashback psychiatric hospital, padded cell. Minutes later. The nurses open the door. Fagioli is gently pushed inside. Nurse 1, to Fagioli. You'll feel better here for a while. The door closes with a metallic clang. Fagioli sits on the floor, his gaze distant, but with a smile. Murmuring something to Tony the Sock, hidden inside his straitjacket. Fagioli quietly whispering to Tony. Yes, but not for long. Right, Tony. Tony, not for long. Morons, ah ha ha ha. Igor, Fagioli isn't crazy. He's just consistent to the end. Tony the Sock asks for a lawyer. Woolen, of course. The cell is small, but Alfonso's ego fills the whole ceiling. At that time in the asylum, they tried to cure Fagioli, but he diagnosed them instead. Since they washed him, Tony won't talk anymore. After the wash, he lost the thread of the conversation. No one knows if Fagioli ever left the asylum, or if he founded it himself. SavedBlog.com. Thanks for watching.